We're going to begin today's practice in an easy seat called Sukhasana. You're just basically sitting with your legs crisscrossed, hands on top of your knees as you begin to connect with your breath. Take a full, deep, slow breath in and gently release it out. Slowly flutter the eyes open and make your way into tabletop position. Here you're on your hands and knees. Your hands are right under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. We're going to begin warming up the spine through a couple of rounds of cat and cow. So as you inhale, drop your belly towards the mat as you take your gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, gentle round through the spine as you tuck your chin to your chest. And then as you inhale, pull the chest through, curl the tailbone up. And exhale, round, press the ground away. We move through the spinal flexion here, which helps to warm up the spine. So instead of just hopping into our yoga flow, we want to make sure that we ease our way in. And by taking these gentle warm-up rounds of cat and cow, it's just an easy way to loosen up the spine. From here, you're going to gently tuck your toes under and find downward facing dog. So you're positioned in an upside down V here. You can pedal out the legs to find some movement. Oftentimes we have tight hamstrings, so finding this movement through the legs helps to loosen it out a bit. From here, take your gaze to your fingertips at the top of the mat. You're rolling all the way out to plank pose. So shoulders right over those wrists. Drop the knees to the mat, and you're going to lower down to the mat, knees, chest, and chin, keeping those elbows hugged in snug to the body. As you press your hips all the way down, slowly begin to peel your chest up off of the mat into cobra pose. So the entire bottom half of your body is still left on the mat as you open up a little through your chest. Then exhale, lower back down, press into your hands, send the hips back to downward facing dog. From here, slowly begin to make your way to the top of the mat, just taking small steps here as you walk your feet to arrive to your fingertips. We're finding ragdoll forward fold. So take your feet about hip distance apart, grab hold of opposite elbows, and just sway back and forth as you allow gravity to pull your upper body down. Find a nice relief for the head and neck, the shoulders, the arms. Just kind of a good way to recalibrate here. And then gently release your bind. As you inhale, bring your hands onto your shins as you lift halfway, making a nice long flat back. And then exhale, forward fold. Lifting up 2 more times. So inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. And then bend the knees deeply as you rise all the way up to standing, sweeping your hands overhead, pressing the palms together and exhaling them down to your heart. From here, release the hands down to the side and find Mountain Tadasana pose. So palms are facing forward. You're grounding down through your feet as you hug your belly into your spine. Gently tuck the tailbone under and find a little length. On your next inhale, sweep your hands overhead, palms come to touch, and then exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips as you release the breath. On your next inhale, hands to shins as you lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands and lunge your right foot back. Soften the back knee down to the mat and allow your fingertips to frame the foot as you find your low runner's lunge. Let the hips be heavy and gently begin to shine the chest forward. Slowly begin to lift yourself up, bringing your hands on top of your knees as you bring your upper body to stack over your pelvis. Option to stay here, or maybe you release the hands up high to the sky to find a low crescent lunge. Gently turn the pinky fingers in, opening up through the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, release the hands down, frame the foot, lift the back knee, and you're going to step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and lengthen, and exhale to forward fold. From here, gently lunge the left foot back. You're softening that back knee down to the mat, returning to that runner's lunge. You can untuck the toe here, knee stacked right over that ankle, shining the chest forward. Slowly begin to lift your hands up onto your knees as you bring your upper body to stack right over your hips. And then again, option to stay here, or maybe you extend the arms up, shoulders away from the ears once more as you find a little bit more opening, sending the energy up through your fingertips. And exhale, gently release your hands down, framing the foot, lift that back knee and step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and lengthen, and exhale to forward fold. Gently plant the hands and step both feet back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep that right heel high to the sky. As you exhale, step the foot through the hands. You're rooting down for warrior one. So drop that left foot down to about a 45-degree angle. Slowly begin to lift yourself up, extend the hands up to the sky. So in warrior one, your hips are square to the top of your mat. So feel free to bring your hands to your hips. Maybe keep that right arm extended high as you bring the left hand to the outside of that right thigh, actively turning that left hip towards the front of your mat. From your warrior one, you're opening up to warrior two. Arms come out to the side into a T position. Turn that left foot so that it's parallel to the back of the mat. Right knee stacked right over your ankle. And send the energy down through your fingertips here. From here, you're going to reverse your warrior. So flip that right palm over. You're going to sweep it back and over the head to create space into the side body. Exhale, windmill the hands down. You're framing your foot and stepping back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep the left heel high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot through the hands and again, rise up for warrior one. This time, right foot drops down, 45-degree angle, squaring off through the hips. Lift your hands up to the sky. Again, making any adjustments as needed, actively pressing through the outer edge of that right foot, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. And then as you exhale, open up to warrior two. Again, arms come out to a T. That right foot is parallel to the back of the mat this time. Knees stacked right over the ankle or behind as you open up that left hip. Reverse your warrior. Left palm flips over as you sweep it back and over, create space in the side body. Exhale, windmill the hands down, framing the foot, stepping back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, rise high onto the toes and either hop, step, or jump to the center of the mat. Slowly lift yourself all the way up to standing and turn to face me as we work through a little bit of balancing. Coming right into tree pose, many options here. Start by lifting up that right foot as you bring it to either the ankle, the calf or shin, or all the way up to the inner thigh. The choice is yours. Just try to avoid placing the foot right at your knee to avoid any injury at the knee joint. Option to also take your palms overhead and find branches with your tree. Create a little bit more challenge as you open up the arms overhead. And if your hands are lifted, bring your palms to touch. Exhale down to your heart and release that foot down. Moving right onto the other side, switching your feet, lift up through the foot, bringing it to your ankle, either your shin or calf, or all the way up to the inner thigh. Find your center point of focus as you open up through that hip, and then option to reach the hands overhead to find your tree branches. From here, gently release your hands back down to heart center, foot back down to the mat, and we will end in a standing position. Inhale your hands overhead, exhale them down to your heart, sealing in your practice. And thank you so much. I hope to see you in the next class.